Your teams helped monitor these elections. Can you talk a little bit about what they saw in the East? And we just heard some of Jim's report describing that, but tell us about some of the things that they saw and what that means for this election.
That's right. The OSE had over 1,100 people observing these elections. There's been actually 100 people on the ground for the last 3 months observing the lead up to the elections, the pre-election environment. And then they were fanned out, those were fanned out across the country. They were joined by 1,000 more for Election Day. And what they found, as they reported at their press conference today, was that the elections met international standards, that with the exception of the areas, the discrete areas in the East, where armed groups have terrorized the local population, that the elections proceeded according to plan. In fact, they assessed that 98% of the polling places where they observed were positively assessed. I think it's important also, following on Jim's report, Jim has been obviously the eyes and ears on the ground there and doing a lot of great reporting over the last couple of weeks, but it's important to draw the distinction. When we talk about the East, we're actually talking about 2 specific districts in the East out of 24 in the country, where there are some parts of those districts that have been under the control of these violent groups. What's amazing, I think, one of the amazing stories out of yesterday's election is that even in those 2 districts, thousands of people came out to vote. Yes, the turnout was low in Donetsk. The latest figure I saw was around 15%, and only about 900 out of the 3,800 polling places were able to open. But the turnout of 15% for those 900 polling places puts it largely in line with the rest of the country, which shows just how many people would have voted if they could have voted if they hadn't been prevented by these violent groups.
And Ambassador Baer, the judgment of these elections being largely free and fair is significant because the West had said that it would, and the U.S. had said it would enact tougher sanctions if that didn't happen. Does that mean that we shouldn't expect to see any consequences because of this judgment of these elections being largely free and fair?
Look, I think, the OSCE is the gold standard in international election observation. It includes Russia and Ukraine as participating states, so obviously it's a broad tent. It's a great step forward for Ukraine. Even before the votes were tallied, we knew that Ukrainians had won yesterday's election because they came out in their millions and picked a new president and turned the page toward the future. I think there's a lot of work ahead, and that means there's a lot of work ahead for Mr. Poroshenko and his government, a lot of work ahead for the Ukrainian people in holding their government accountable and working together, coming together to work for a better, stronger Ukraine. And obviously, Russia's actions continue to be destructive and destabilizing. We heard from Jim's report about the new violence in Donetsk, armed groups taking over the airport there. Yesterday, lots of reports about Chechens coming across the border from Russia, openly admitting that they had come across the border from Russia, heavily armed. Russia needs to play a constructive role in the future, too. And I think we will continue to apply both pressure and support in getting them to play that role.